So my inbox and my WhatsApp has been inundated with information um, on the effects of the coronavirus, and I think since last Sunday night, people's lives has been very much disrupted, and it's now becoming almost a new word out there. So from the information out there, and thanks to Jason for giving us some just common sense insight as to how to deal with the crisis, because right now the name of the crisis is coronavirus. But if you think generationally, and the lives of the founding fathers like the Ruperts and the Oppenheimers, they have gone through plenty crises from different names, be it a world war or economic crisis or whatever. But if you have a mechanism of dealing with the crisis, and like you also said right at the end, if you have strong relationship networks that can help warn you, then things are much easier to handle. So this specific session is just to say, what can we do? What is it, the truth about the coronavirus, and what can we do to protect ourselves? So by no means is this the final word on it. Science is now rapidly focusing on this problem, and a week from now there could already be new information. But the coronaviruses are a large family of viruses that cause illnesses ranging from the common cold to more severe diseases, such as severe acute respiratory syndromes. And you'll remember a couple of years ago we had that SARS virus, where if you walk through any shopping center or big building or at the airports, they had these machines just to check if you maybe have symptoms. Now, the novel coronavirus 2019, or the shortened name is COVID, is a new strain of virus that had not previously been identified in humans. It's highly contagious and infectious. And I think that's actually the big thing, is the highly contagious and infectious. So I've done this session on the 18th of March. And at that time, the world had 191 cases. Now, cases doesn't mean deaths. It just means confirmed cases of sickness. And of that, 7,800 people have died. And if you go and trace it, mostly elderly people. So that puts the percentage on about 4%. But if you then look at people who haven't got to the point of feeling sick enough to go to a doctor, but they also had the cases, that percentage drops down to less than 1%. And they've got different sort of case studies for different age groups. Now, just to try and illustrate, the virus itself is not a living thing. It has an outside kind of oily layer with spikes, the proteins and lipids, and inside it has then the DNA of how to replicate the virus. So the outside, the bubbly of oily lipid molecules is what makes it so easy then to get rid of by just the washing of hands and using soap. Now, when it gets into your bloodstream, on every cell in your body, the cells have got receptors, and those receptors are needed so that depending on what sort of nutrients you have to take into the body, vitamins and minerals and whatever, the body then recognizes this, and this is where the coronavirus then comes in. It has the ability to occupy one of those receptors, and the moment it connects with that receptors, it then connects with your cell membrane, and it then uses the life of your cell membrane to get into your cell and then release the DNA of this virus. And it's like almost taking a working computer that can do Microsoft Office, and you've been used to work Microsoft Office, and someone then put a virus onto your system, and it changes the whole software, and now the only thing that your computer can produce is that some new software. And that's basically what happened with this virus. Now, just the common symptoms, if you do pick it up, the first 3 days is a mild sore throat, running fever. So the sore throat is almost the key thing, because that's where the virus starts for the first couple of days. And there are some remedies out there, like even gargling with well, we'll talk about the disinfectant just now, but gargling with hot water and with the disinfectant can also get rid of the virus. If you don't treat it by day 4, you can have a sore throat, a hoarse voice, body temperature increase. You could start anorexia, have a headache, have diarrhea. By day 5, experience fatigue, muscle pain, dry cough. By day 6, mild fever, productive cough, difficulty in breathing, diarrhea, vomiting, and then it gets into the serious thing, high fever, body aches and pain, vomiting, diarrhea, and so forth. So in most cases, they reckon if you're under 30, you're going to not experience even very much of these symptoms, and a couple of days later you're okay, but you could still be infectious and infect other people for the next 14 days. So when you start feeling these things, rather play safe and put yourself in isolation for about 14 days. And it doesn't mean nobody can see you, but just stay away from large crowds. But if you do start getting to the sort of symptoms by day 6 and 7, or very important, or even earlier, do get a test, but understand your symptoms could very much look like flu, and in many cases it will just be an ordinary flu, because this is the time of flu now. I don't want to get people now to become hypochondriacs and say, oh, I think I've got the disease. Now, to play safe, this virus, again, it doesn't have a life of its own, can't replicate, it needs your cells to replicate, but it can stay active on surfaces for plastic up to 5 days, on paper 4 to 5 days, glass 4 days, wood 4 days, steel 48 hours, surgical gloves 8 hours, and aluminium 2 to 8 hours. And that's why it becomes important to clean yourself, but also to constantly disinfect areas. And that's what I want to start talking about. Now, in terms of washing yourself, it's amazing how when the problem arrives, the solution has already been there. And we're going to talk more about this a bit later on. But for many, many years, for the last 40 odd years, I've been involved with an entity worldwide that is on the cutting edge of the best in terms of cleaning, medicine, food, and these kind of things. So we've got a product called Light Duty Concentrate, which is a very effective hand cleaner that can then help. And if you can see here on the right-hand side, what the soap does is to break up the oily layer and destroy, so that this cell can't do its work anymore. And just on a lighter note, now any other soap can also do it. We just like to use LDC. And someone sent me this on a WhatsApp with all the hand washing. I'm now back to my history crypt notes of 1984. Right. The thing that I want you all to concentrate on, Jason earlier talked about disinfecting water. Now, Care is the product that we had for the last 50, 60 years, which, and I'll talk to you about the difference between sanitizers and disinfectants. But with this product, we now use it in our guest house as a hand sanitizer or a disinfectant. But I know for years and years, people in the milk industry would put some of it into their milk tanks to sterilize the milk. And you can do this also in water. In rural areas, people have done it in their water to stop diarrhea. So it's quite an effective product. But you need to understand that all the so-called sanitizers that are now sold out there are not the same as a disinfectant. Most of the commercially available sanitizers just alter the natural structure of alcohol, but it can have a harsh drying effect on the skin, and it's not necessarily controlled by any regulatory authority to see to verify how effective it is. Disinfectants are much stronger than general sanitizers, and the Care from New Life is a certified disinfectant that's fully registered with the national regulator. There's the number, and it contains natural derived fatty acid alcohols, which are non-irritating and in fact contribute softening properties to human skins. These alcohols form 5% of the formula, and that's the exact amount needed to achieve the verified disinfecting properties of Golden Care. They use it in hospital-grade disinfectant, so it comes in a liter of concentrate, and then you can dilute it 1 part Care to 10 parts water, giving you 11 liters of disinfectant, which then works out at the retail value to just about 17 Rand a liter. So after tonight, if any of you are interested to learn more about that, you can write to info@geektrust.co.za and tell us that you're interested, and we'll then contact you and tell you how you can go about and getting involved in that. But the big thing in terms of cleaning that I want to stress on everybody, get yourself some Care, put it in little mixing bottles and you can get any bottle out there in the market and make up your own disinfectant, keep disinfectant in the car, in the house, in the office, wherever you are. Now, the next thing is all these cases that they report on, in the end, those, and more than 97% are cured and won't even know that they had the disease. But if you get cured from anything, it's not because of medicine, it's because of your own body's antibodies. Now, quite a few sessions ago, we talked about how it's important to up your protein intake, because that's from what makes the antibodies. And an antibody is then something that within 30 minutes of a virus or anything entering your body that's a foreign thing, like a bacteria or a virus, your body has the ability to read its DNA and see exactly what is the danger of this thing, and then form an antibody, a counter body that only targets this specific virus. And within 30 minutes, your body can go into war against the specific virus and destroy it and kill it. And it happens thousands of times per day in your body, and you don't even know about it. But that's only if you have all the vitamins and minerals and the system in your body to make these antibodies. So to make these antibodies, the best one that's ever been noted and documented in history is the carotenoid complex. Carotenoid is made up of the oil, the coloring of fruits and vegetables you find in nature, like your tomatoes, carrots, spinach, red bell peppers, strawberries, apricot, peaches. But it's so hygroscopic, in other words, in the presence of air and water, it actually then gets used up. So a New Life found a way to extract it from the fruits and vegetables and keep it as fresh as if you would eat it just now. And 90 capsules of this carotenoid complex is the same as if you would eat 115 kilograms of the best mixture of fruits and vegetables. And this is the only product that was found clinically proven by the health department of the United States that boosts the immune capacity by 37% in just 20 days. And it has got a lot of other benefits of reducing oxygen, of cholesterol, and things like that. But that's the number one thing that I would recommend. And because it's in the form of an oil, it's also the best then stored. What your body doesn't need immediately, it's still available, and the oils are stored in the fatty cells of the body. So that gives you the longest duration of protection. Then the equivalent of that also extracts from fruit and vegetables, but that's then the watery part. It's the flavonoid complex, and again comes from the flavonoids, which gives it the flavor, from oranges, lemons, grapefruit, elderberries, red and black grapes, and it has added natural vitamin C. And by the way, vitamin C is an excellent, almost every second comment that you read from doctors recommend just boost your vitamin C. But over and above, these are the two that I just want to then bring to your attention. And they're available from New Life. They're available from your wealth coaches. If you don't know how to get hold of them, just write to us at info@geektrust.co.za, and we will then certainly make sure that we connect with you as soon as possible. There's also a further product where they then combined the carotenoids with the flavonoids, and they added cruciferous to give you in a sachet a complete daily dosage that then boosts your whole immune system, and it's then called the Daily Phytonutrient Protection Pack. So all of this is just then for your education, and also like Jason said, the world is suddenly crazy, but the good thing is God is the same yesterday, today, and forever.